Alright, first thing you want to do is open up the base mail blend file that comes with the Guru guide. Then after that, we're going to open up a hat and import it. So we'll get that done here. Now, we want to scale it down to size so it fits the head of the character. Get that right there. Anyway, all right. So now you got to position it up onto the head and get it about the right size so you get the ears covered. Still a little too big. Move that down a little bit, right about there. All right. So take a look at it, make sure nothing's messed up. And then if you want, you can go here and use an image texture so you can see the texture of the hat, so you can make sure you got everything lined up and nothing's popping out. So we'll open that here. And there we go. And take another look. Make sure we don't have any clipping. And if that's looking good, then what we have to do is select the hat and the skeleton of the model right here. So you shift and click on each part. And once that's done, you press Control P and put it with empty groups. Then you select the head first and then the hat model. And then you want to go over to weight paint. Once we're in there, if you did it right, the hat will turn blue. Then we'll go to transfer weights, then go down here and by name. Once that's done, it should be attached to your model. I'll give it a little try here. And if everything went well, it'll be moving around with your animated guy. Stop that here. Want to select the skeleton and the hat, and then we go up to File and then Export and FBX. And to get it ready for Guru, you want to have it for the selected objects only and the scale set to 0.40%. And then export. Doesn't matter what you name it. Alright, next we go over to GameGuru and then we go to add a model and import, and we'll grab our file. And then we're going to want to slap some textures on there. So get this up here so we can see. Go over here, add the color texture. Alright, then we throw on the normal. And go down to the surface and add these. And that's about it. So let's do that. Alrighty. Then, once that's looking good, you take a look around, make sure nothing's messed up. And then go to import. And you probably want to make a temporary folder to import the stuff into so you don't have to dig through the big folders. So I made a folder called temp. Now I'll put it in there, and then we import the object. Once that's done, we want to go over to our folder or temporary folder and find these files. And once we got all the files, you can get rid of the FPE. We don't need that, so delete it. And grab all these and cut them. And just to keep things in order, we'll go ahead and put it back in our hat folder. Keep everything in one place. All right, make these bigger so we can see everything good. And there we go. So, next thing we want to do is open up the NVIDIA texture converter and then convert our files. Get the color one first. You want to set this to BC1. There we go. And save as. It doesn't matter what you name them right now, so just do any name, and then we'll save as type and make sure that's DDS. Then we'll save that one out. Then we'll open up the next one and do that for the normal. And that one's going to be BC1 as well. So we can just click Save As, name that whatever, make sure it's DDS, and then save. Now the last one, the surface texture, that one's going to be BC3. So we'll change that right there to BC3. And also this one has an alpha channel that screws things up, so we need to make sure that alpha channel is set to darker than pure white. Otherwise your color is going to get washed out. So we'll lower that down a little bit. Get that adjusted there, and that should be all right. Save that one. Make sure it's DDS. Alrighty. All right, now that all those are converted and looking good, we got a surface, we got our color going, and we got our normal, got our DBO. Now we can get rid of the other textures because we don't need those anymore. All we need is the converted one, so we'll delete that. Get that last one, delete that. Then we go over to our parts folder. And what we need to do is find a headgear piece and copy the name. That way it'll make it easy to rename our parts. So I'll just copy this one. And we'll go back over to our folder. And we'll go ahead and rename them and change the number of the part. I went ahead and named my part headgear 35 since the other parts don't seem to be that high of a number. You can start at 100 and work down from there, and then you won't run into problems, but just about 30 or above and you'll be all right. So we'll rename all these. Make sure to have the normal and the color and the surface all named after the name of the object, and change the name of the DBO. And also what we're going to need is a thumbnail. So I'm going to go ahead and steal it from a different model I have right here. We'll copy that and bring it over to our other folder. And we'll paste it here. And we'll go ahead and rename it to the name of our object. Now, right now it's a beanie. It's the wrong kind of hat, so we'll have to edit that to make it look like our object instead of just a beanie. So, what you're going to need is some kind of program like Photoshop or GIMP, anything like that where we can edit the photo. So I got a picture of the hat right here. We'll go ahead and copy it. We'll go back to the image we're using and we'll shrink this down to cover it. About right there is good. Put it over there and put it in the center. We're going to get rid of that bottom layer so we can't see the beanie anymore. That's just our hat. And if it's looking good, go ahead and save that up. Now that we got all our files, we can transfer them over to the character parts. So select them all, then copy them. We open our character parts folder for the male. We'll paste them right in here. All right, that's looking good. Last thing we need to do before it works is scroll up here and find this file right here. We'll open it with Notepad++, and we got to add our part in here. So we'll take the name of our part, we'll copy this one and paste it here and just change the number to match our part, and then we'll give it a name. This one I'm calling Trapper Hat. We'll save that up and close this. Then we'll go back into GameGuru Max and go to the character creator and see if it worked. Go to the hats. We'll scroll down there. There's our part showing up. Give it a click and there you go. Give it a look over, make sure nothing's messed up. If everything's good, you got a new part. That's about it. For any other body part, you do the same steps. If you're making an upper body part, instead of transferring the weights from the head, you transfer the weights from the chest piece. Same goes with the legs. You grab the legs and then transfer it onto the pants. There's one problem you run into if you're doing something like the shirt. If you have any skin showing, you have the shirt texture and then you have to have a texture for the body part. You can't have two separate textures, so you have to combine them into one. There is a way to do it with Blender, but I'm not that good with blenders, so I don't know exactly how to tell you to do it. But there's lots of tutorials on YouTube, so you can check those out. Other than that, once you have the textures combined, you have to make a mask texture. And for the skin, it's got to be colored white. And for anywhere else that the skin won't show, you got to color it black. One important thing for the mask channel is you want to make the white pure white and the black pure black. If they aren't a solid white or a solid black, the mask won't work. And also, you want to put them in the red channel of the texture. There's tutorials on YouTube about texture packing, and that'll help you get it done. A big thanks to Bond1 for helping me get past all the hurdles to make this work. Hopefully I taught you something here, and good luck.